All right, Edward, you have 70,000 IP assets that you've acquired, a little more over half of which are now in monetization programs. Those are pretty exciting progress that you're making then, considering the long-term view that you have. What areas or sectors do you find there could be the most progress?
The most progress? I think it really depends on what time frame you're talking about. You know, we started 15 years ago, so some of the things that have come to fruition already, if you think about what happened 15 years ago, were very unclear, like the fact that your mobile phone is more powerful than a computer and you can do transactions and watch media on them. That was a dream 15 years ago. Apple didn't even have an iPhone, right? And so from that standpoint, that, looked very exciting. Now that's already happened, and so the next set of things that are going to happen in things like robotics and artificial intelligence, things like healthcare, things like new materials, those are the areas we look at for, say, the next 10 years. Our jobs really is to think about the future with the luxury of having that much time, which is great because in a funny sense, it's easier to predict the future in a 10-year time frame than it is in a 2-year time frame.
Yeah, and you have projects that range from something as big as a nuclear reactor to what QSense is doing, which is building small sensors, which really goes with this whole wearables theme. So is that something which will have more emphasis for IV?
Oh, absolutely. When people talk about what they now call the Internet of Things, the idea is that computing and sensing will be pervasive everywhere. And of course, some of those places, the places nearest and dearest to you and me, are our own bodies. And that's what wearables are all about. But eventually, those sensors are going to migrate into your body also. It's a little bit harder for consumers to accept now, but pretty much everybody in their lifetime is going to get a hip or knee replacement. And today, those are very dumb devices. And in the future, they could actually really assist you walking and monitor your gait and check your health and titrate what's happening inside of your body. So that's going to happen too. And then sensors will also get further away from you. We see that already happening with things like drones. Things like remote sensing for doctors who can operate on you from far away. It's just the tip of the iceberg is wearables.
A big part of what Intellectual Ventures does is to scale up inventions, bring together the minds that will really develop those ideas. And then there's the monetization aspect. So how far along are you on some of the key projects that you've been working on?
Well, some of them very far along. Because let's take what we've worked on in metamaterials, a very exotic new material. We invested in it starting a little over 10 years ago. And the first startup started coming out about a year ago, and there'll be many more startups coming out every year. So I would say it's pretty far along. Now, other people might say, no, that's fairly early. You're just doing the startups. So I guess it depends on your point of view. The monetization for that, most of it is still into the future. We've monetized about $3 billion, which is not a small amount of money. But from our standpoint, it really is still just scratching the surface as to the ultimate value that will be created from some of the inventions we've done in the longer run. And so we'll see. We'll see.
There was some concern about how Silicon Valley viewed what Intellectual Ventures was doing because it's a fairly newfangled approach towards innovation. But surely there must be other areas in Asia, for example, that are saying this is something that could work for us because of the type of exit, the alternative that you're providing.
I think so. I mean, Silicon Valley is not one thing. There are many people in Silicon Valley that do like us and some that don't because we represent a different model, and it may be a model that's hard to understand or they don't like. But somewhere, there will be places that find this approach very attractive, and we found a few of them. I think in Asia in particular, which is more demand-driven and more cash-driven economy than equity-driven economy, our model actually works really, really well, which is why I spend more than half my time in Asia.
Right. And what's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Wow, that's a hard one because I just love so many cool things. I think one of the cooler things that we're working on really right at the moment is it's a new kind of body scanning technology that will allow you to resolve 9 out of the top 10 cancers very, very early on at a very early stage that uses no ionizing radiation. So it's something you could scan yourself with every day if you wanted to.